Welcome to Moments with Vanessa TV, a platform that inspires conversations around our emotional and mental well-being. Be inspired. Hi, good evening, everyone. Good evening. Yes, I'm so excited. Welcome, Princess Chinwezoma. You are welcome. Yes, I'm so excited to welcome everyone to April edition of the Gist with Vanessa and Esther. Yes, I can't wait to have Esther here with me. Good evening, Princess. Okay, Esther is here now. Hi, Esther.
Hi, Vanessa.
Okay, so good evening, everyone. Good evening, and welcome to April's edition of the Gist with Vanessa and Esther. Okay, I can see everyone that has joined us. Welcome, Princess Chinwe Uzoma. You're welcome. Welcome, Oli Ewe. You are welcome.
Welcome, everyone. Good to see you.
Yes. Okay, so before we start, it's so nice to have you here, Esther, today.
Yeah, Vanessa. You know now.
I just watched your intro video on Facebook. I was like, yay, at some point. I watched it quickly before I came online.
Okay.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. So we're so excited to be here this evening. And just for those who have been joining us every second Sunday of the month, this holds every second Sunday of the month, by the way. We come here to have informal conversations on everything relationship and marriage. So before we start, I would like us to introduce ourselves. I'll introduce myself first, then Esther will do the same. Okay, my name is Mrs. Vanessa Nadi, and I am a physiotherapist, and I'm presently based in London, United Kingdom, and I'm the convener of Moments with Vanessa. I am an emotional and mental well-being coach. In Moments with Vanessa, what we basically do is to, inspire conversations around our emotional and mental well-being. Anything around our emotional and mental well-being, we talk about it. We provide safe spaces, non-judgmental spaces where people can unburden, where people can have people can also have clarity and counseling sessions with me. We've gone ahead to have a lot of other aspects or a lot of things that have been bettered from this main platform, Moments with Vanessa. We have the Safe Crib that has been, awesome, where people can always unburden, whatever it is, the struggle, whatever struggle they're going through emotionally and mentally, they unburden there and they get all round support. We have our monthly program, Winning Through the Battles of the Mind. It holds on our Facebook group every last Saturday of the month. Our Facebook group is Moments with Vanessa Tribe. You can just search for it on Facebook. We talk about, bringing men and women from all over the world who we perceive as successful to make us understand that whatever struggles we are going through in life is not peculiar to you alone. Even them, they go through it. So they share their principles, what has helped them to keep winning through the battles of the mind. So it holds on Moments with Vanessa Tribe on Facebook every last Saturday of the month. Welcome, Nena. Welcome, Jelvisik. Welcome, Clarice Fisio. You are all welcome to the April edition of the Gist with Vanessa and Esther, where we have informal conversations about relationship and marriage. So I was just trying to introduce myself. So basically, Moments with Vanessa has gone ahead to birth a lot of other, branches. Just as I mentioned, the Safe Play, we have the Winning Through the Battles of the Mind. We have even our book club that we just launched and a whole lot. Just go and search for Moments with Vanessa Tribe on Facebook. It's a Facebook group, and you find all this. You find all the relevant links. You can even find it on the link on my bio on my Instagram page. So at this point, I'll hand over the floor to Esther to introduce herself and what she represents.
Thank you so much, Vanessa. Thank you.
Yeah.
And every one of us, or everyone that is joining us online, you're welcome. My name is Ijoma Esther Namdi. I'm a US certified marriage/relationship mentor or coach. By way of profession, I studied medical biochemistry, and as a multi-talented lady, I've ventured into a lot. I've ventured into a whole lot, but counseling is one of the things I'm passionate about, because as a young girl, I lost my mom quite early, and I had so many challenges. I passed through a lot. So it's kind of made me get so endeared to women. I want to reach out to women. And it was this passion that made me come up with Ladies Let's Talk International.
Yeah.
Ladies Let's Talk International is a page on Facebook. It first started as WhatsApp group, and it grew to 2 WhatsApp groups with over 250 members each, before we decided to spread our tentacles to Facebook. On Facebook is a platform where we come together as women to share ideas, to counsel each other, to discuss issues. As the name implies, Ladies Let's Talk. We discuss a whole lot of issues that has to do with relationship, career, entrepreneurship, motherhood, and everything that has to do with the women folks. I'm also the CEO of Mommy and I Media. Mommy and I Media is a platform where we reach out to mothers, teach them principles of intentional parenting, how to handle themselves as mothers, how to be able to combat some postpartum challenges that comes with motherhood. And funny enough, I started it when I was single before I got married. And somebody will be like, why Mommy and I? You are not even married.
Yeah.
But when the passion burns deep inside of you, you just go ahead of time to plan and set things in order. So Mommy and I, we also have our Instagram page at mommy and underscore I. You can follow us on Instagram. You can also follow my personal handle. Yes, you have to follow our personal handle. I'm Esther Namdi and Nessa Nadi, so you can see more of us and see more of the things we do and all that. You can also join us on Facebook, Ladies Let's Talk International. There are so many Ladies Let's Talk, so that international is more like the distinguishing this thing we added to distinguish our group from other Ladies Let's Talk groups on Facebook. So when you type Ladies Let's Talk International, you will join us. We are happy to have you. Flow with us, join the conversation, and enjoy yourself.
Exactly. So you've heard it all. Esther is the founder of Ladies Let's Talk International, and she is also the founder of Mommy and I Media. And just as I've said earlier, I am a physiotherapist and also the convener of Moments with Vanessa. I am also the founder of Readiness Foundation. It's a foundation that will be relaunched soon. It has been at the halt for a while now, but it will be relaunched soon. And we have a lot. So we came together, me being an emotional and mental well-being coach, and Esther being a relationship coach. We came together and decided to partner to bring this program to us every second Sunday of the month. The reason being that from my own stance, my reason being that if for you to have a healthy emotional and mental well-being, for you to be in a good place emotionally and mentally, your relationship needs to be in a good place. Because whatever happens in your relationship or marriage, being that you're emotionally invested in the person you're in a relationship with or you're married to, it comes with weight. So it saps you both emotionally and mentally. Hence the collaboration with this with Esther, who is a US certified marriage coach. So we decided to come together and bring you this program, The Gist with Vanessa and Esther, every second Sunday of the month. It's not a formal program. Here we gist. And today we'll believe that some of you will join us live to join us to gist about these conversations that you should have before getting married, which is our topic for today. Conversations you must have or you should have before getting married. When I made the post to publicize this, I said something. Though it's not cast in stone, it does not determine how well your marriage turns out. But the truth is that it is very, very, very important that certain conversations are had before you get into marriage. So today, I and Esther will be sharing some of the questions that we asked, or some of the conversations that we had with our spouses prior to marriage, and that has been helping us right now as married women. So I'll be giving a brief introduction before we go right into it. And I would really, really, really appreciate if you all are as interactive as possible. So conversations are very important, These are things that, this is a process of getting to know someone you are in a relationship with, which is possibly leading to marriage, getting to understand the person. I'll give two scenarios. I've had a close friend, or I've had a close friend who, during our conversation, I discovered that she and her husband, they never really had much conversations while they were dating, though it was a short-time relationship before they got married. But the basic things she was supposed to know, she had no idea, and it's been affecting them in marriage. So we have more people joining us. Benz, Raphael, you're welcome. Onya Faraga, you're welcome. You're welcome to the Gist with Vanessa and Esther. You're welcome. So this friend of mine, they didn't have the conversations they were supposed to have before getting married. So basic things, like the things that I and Esther will talk about, let me not let the cat out of the bag yet. Basic things that she should have known, or he should have known about her, they had no idea. So they kept having clashes in marriage. Whatever she believed in was always contradicting with whatever he believed in. And the second scenario is also a friend, and I will also use myself too, who actually had a lot of conversations. Hey God, a lot of questions and conversations before we decided to take this plunge and step into the world of marriage. So at this point, we'll have to start. So we'll have to begin this conversation. So the first one I would like I and Esther to actually talk about now is, what do you want in a partner? this is the first conversation we're going to, break down. What do you want in a partner? Okay, you're in a relationship with a guy, you're in a relationship with a lady, and the relationship is already getting serious. It mustn't even get to that point where the proposal has already happened. As a woman, as a man, when somehow this thing is getting serious. Like I listened to Esther's video on Facebook, and she was like, some men know within 2 weeks of meeting you that they will get married to you. That happens. It doesn't matter if you guys ended up dating for 1 year, 2 years, or whatever. But some people know already that this is it. Exactly. Because I know one of the times someone asked my husband said he did not know instantly, but within the first 3 weeks, he knew that he had to end up with me. And we dated for 2 years, before we got married. But within 3 weeks of both of us meeting, he knew that this is someone that he wanted to get married to. So it's something that you should, prepare for. And it's something that you should. So first of all, ask them, what do you want in a partner? Why do I feel this is very, very important? I've had someone, I think I talked about this in communication. I think it was our February edition of the Gist with Vanessa and Esther. I talked about how important communication is. I gave this example. A man has a picture of the kind of wife he wants to marry in his head. A lady has a picture, a mental, it might not be all together, but a lady has a mental imagination of the kind of man she wants to spend the rest of her life with. You might not get it 100%, but there's a perception, there's an expectation everyone has. So let's say, for instance, now a man wants to marry a lady that will be at home and nurture the children till they are all in secondary school before you start working or before you start doing something. Or it might be a man that just wants to marry a lady that goes to work and comes back by 2 p.m. or by 4 p.m. or by 5 p.m. Or it might be a man that wants a high-flying wife. Like, I want you to be speaking on what platforms. Do you understand? All these are valid. Nobody should ever make anyone look less than the other. No, everyone has their own preference. It is something we should all come to understand and respect. So this man has his own specific expectations, and at that point, because you as a lady, you've not understood yourself, you've not discovered your purpose. Probably you're fitting into the one of being a housewife at that point. And you're in there, and then you start discovering yourself, and you now want to fly. And the man starts giving you wahala. You say the man is bad. The truth is that these clashes happens. It happens all the time. So one thing that you should always ask, that key question, ask the girl, what do you want in a partner? Do you want a man that would not travel a lot? Or do you want to marry a man that would always be around? You don't want to have distant marriage? Do you want a man that goes to work and comes back? Or do you want a man that speaks on the world stage? Open your mouth and ask, and even share your own. It helps. I'll give myself as an example. When I met my husband, I was already on that journey of, discovering. I was seeing a lot of things about myself. Like, I was discovering a lot about myself. When I was doing, because my foundation was the core, Green Eyes Foundation was the core of what I was doing while I was still in university. He was the one that helped me fine-tune a lot of things. So right from the beginning, the day we had our conversation about the kind of person we were, I told him I'm not the kind of woman that you would tell that want to stay at home. I'm that kind of woman that wants to be on the world stage. That is the kind of person I am. So if it's going to be a problem, just tell me now. Because of course I've met some people prior to him. Probably we are just friends and I'm just trying to know if I should accept the person. And I'm hearing, no, if you dare, no, you can't travel. No. All those people that used to, I already know that man will not be secure enough to have me as a wife. I wanted a man that would support a woman who was going global, who will be going on world stages. Do you understand? So this is something that you should always ask your spouse. What do you want in a partner? Do you want a housewife? Do you want a traveling? Do you want a woman who will be there? Because everyone has their own. Just imagine Okonjo-Iweala did not marry that kind of man that she married. You won't be hearing of her now because the man would have told her to stay at home. So that question is very key. So I'd like to hear Esther's perception on this.
Okay. Thank you so much, Vanessa.
Yeah.
As funny as it sounds, this question is very important.
Very, very.
Very, very important. For one, I met my husband when I went to minister in a church.
Yeah.
That was the first point of call.
Yeah.
Of course, he was Facebook friend, so probably maybe he saw the flyer or something. Do you get?
Yeah.
So he decided. So he already knows the kind of woman I am. You understand? Yeah. And prior to that program, I was traveling a lot for programs and all that at points in my life. And he already knows this is the kind of woman, going for. But then, personally, I'm the kind of person that I don't like assumption. Assumption is the weakest form of knowledge. I don't just assume you should know this is my kind of person. So, like I said on Facebook, I asked him over 50 questions. We used to discuss at night because night is the only time that we have chance to really and all that. So every night I bring up questions. And when I ask him, he will also throw the question back to me.
Exactly.
It helped. I told him, I said, okay, one of the things I'm expecting from a partner is I don't want a man that travels a lot.
Exactly. Yeah.
And travel.
Okay, no. Let me just say something. Mine was not traveling a lot. Mine was I didn't want to start married. I wanted that kind of man that if you're moving, I'm moving. If I'm moving, we are moving. You understand? I don't want anything distant. So between distant marriage and a man that travels a lot. Okay. For instance, some women are comfortable marrying a man that is maybe based in the UK while they are in the village. They are very comfortable with that. And there are some men that are married to you. Both of you are based in the same location, but every weekend you are looking for your husband because it travel to distant A location A or he's at location B, always flying around. You understand? Yeah.
So me, I want to be the one flying around, but then I want to have my husband. I didn't want, because it's not like I'm too clingy, it's not like I'm too, but I just want to always have my husband's shoulder to rest on. You understand? I need emotional fulfillment. It will give me satisfaction in the marriage. So it was one of the things that we discussed. You understand? And then one of the things I also asked him is, will you be available?
Exactly.
Will you be available for me? Because a man might actually be in the same location with you, in the same house with you, but he's unavailable.
Exactly.
What do I mean? He might always be talking and he's pressing his phone. Like one of the ladies I counseled some months back, she said the husband rarely talks to her. Like he's always with phone every time. You understand? That's somebody present but emotionally absent. So I needed a man that would be available for me. That doesn't mean you won't have your life. That doesn't mean you won't do other things. That doesn't mean you won't pursue your purpose, you won't achieve your vision. But whenever I need you, I need that availability.
Yeah.
I need that comfort. I need, yes, I'm a strong woman mentally, but then emotionally I don't want to be that strong. I want to be a baby girl.
I understand.
You know?
Yes.
So they had to discuss it. Availability, very, very important. And for distant marriage, I can't deal. I had so many guys that when I was having suitors, some guys that were based abroad. In fact, there is one that I had. There's one that I had. He was based in South Africa, and he wanted me to stay back in the village with the mother. You can imagine, Vanessa, see me in the village now. We can't be having this G Suite, Vanessa. I want it to be in the village.
You'll be having network issues. Oh, God.
I'll be in the farm harvesting cassava. Is it
Yeah.
to be in the village with the mom?
Yeah.
To stay with mom and all that. And for me, that was I just knew that this relationship will not see the break light. It will not see the daylight because it can't work. I'm not saying being in the village is a bad thing, but man, I'm a city girl. I'm so a city girl that I can't deal.
Exactly.
You understand?
Yeah.
And I already have a lot going for me. This guy knew. He knew so many things about me. He knew when I was invited by the wife of Abia State Governor to speak in a function to address the girl child, you know, and you want me to be in the village. Like, I can't even correlate the two.
Yeah.
But that kind of woman he wants. He wants when he returns, you know, you will worship him, serve him. Sometimes he will be like, all this raising of kids, me, I don't have that time. Once I come back, I'll be in the parlor sipping a glass of wine while you.
I'll tell that one is another point on its own self.
That point on its own.
Yeah.
One thing, men don't pretend. I tell ladies something. I said men don't pretend. Women we may pretend.
Exactly.
In fact, most pretend by not saying what they want, by not explaining, by not stating their expectations. You know, there was a lady that told me that please, in marriage you shouldn't have expectations so that you won't get surprises. I said no. In life there are always expectations. Even the scripture said that the expectations of the righteous shall not be cut short. I'm not going religious now, but even God expects you to have expectation.
Exactly.
You can't deny that fact. Now, a lady might pretend in her own expectation, which is not good. But you see, men don't pretend about it. They go ahead to tell you this. You will see a man that will tell you, me, I'm not the type that. Some men will say, me, I'm not a one woman, one man kind of man. No. I must have other babes. The man is communicating that he must cheat on you in that marriage. So it's left for you to use your sense to know if this is what you want or not. You understand? So when that guy was saying those comments, when he was telling me those things, I knew this man is not kidding. This man is actually telling me what he wants out of the marriage, and I can't deal. Immediately I heard those things. That was how your sister picked her shoe and tears. You understand? So expectations, it's good to state it clear that this is what you are expecting from your husband. This is what you are expecting from your wife. State it clear. Don't assume the person should know this is the man. Assumption is the weakest form of knowledge. You don't. When you assume, you get surprises. But when you state that this is what I want, like in my case, I said I need a man that will be available. Whenever I need you, be available. It's not like you won't have a life, but be there for me.
Exactly.
You know, I stated it. I don't want somebody that every weekend I'm looking for you, doing video call, I don't I don't want that.
I'm telling you.
To have my husband to himself. So,
all right. Seriously, that's very, very important. So the first question that we just addressed is, what do you want in a partner? So what's the second one, Esther? You have
the second one that I advise singles to discuss is, how do we raise the kids? Like you said something close to that, but the topic of its own. How do we raise the kids? For instance, do you want me to work as a woman? Do you want me to work? If you want me to work, what kind of work? Or are you comfortable with my career? Are you comfortable with what I'm presently doing? There are some men that are very much comfortable with being the only source of income in the home.
Exactly.
It's not good, but it works for some.
Yes. Some
men would tell you, no, I don't want my wife to be anybody's employee. I don't want my wife to be the boss.
Exactly. I heard that recently from someone. So it's very valid. There are men like that.
Yeah, there are some men like that too. Yeah. I don't want my wife to have a boss. Some will tell you, how much are you paid in your company? I'm ready to pay even far more.
Yeah.
But stay at home with the kids. Now there are some women that don't want to work.
Exactly.
There are women that are working because they are single. But once they become a mom, they are willing to let go of everything to focus on their children.
On the children.
Yes. So we'll be like, okay, I want to raise my kids till they are 5 years old or 10 years old before I can venture into other stuff. So these things should be discussed.
Exactly.
But willing to handle, how will you handle one person being the major source of income? Because it can be energy sapping.
Yeah.
For one to be making all the expenses from his purse, like it can be.
Yeah.
So can the person handle it, or how do you want us to raise our kids? Where do you want me as your wife to help? Do you want me, for instance, when I was discussing with my husband told me something. He said, I am willing to support you in your career. I am willing. In fact, right from day one, he was supportive. Right from the first day I met him, because I wrote about it on Facebook. Let me not go so deep. The time I met him, the program I went for, it ended quite late, 7 p.m. And the vehicle that was supposed to convey me from there back to Lagos Island wasn't available. But unknown to me, he made plans before coming for the program. So he was the one that conveyed me from Ajambadi. To those of you that are based in Lagos, Ajambadi is around Badagry. I don't even know. That was my first time of being in that part of the world, that part of Lagos State, So he made provision. He conveyed me from that place back to Aja. You can imagine a program that I left by 7 p.m. and I was getting home almost 12 because of traffic and bad road. Do you understand? So right from day one, support. He has always been supportive.
Exactly.
But tell me something. I am ready to support you to reach any level you want in life. But you see, my children, I want a woman, a mother that would take personally care of my children. You need to see his face when he was telling me that. I said, he was so serious about it. He might have even forgotten he told me something like that, but I copied it immediately. Like, I internalized it. He said he doesn't want a woman that will not have time for his children. Now, this is his own expectation of me, because it's not just you as a woman that should have expectation or, questions. The man also
Should have.
want, yes, that he wants from you. So when he told me that, I said, okay, no problem. So asking, how do you want our kids to be raised? What kind of school will you want the kids? Like, there are some people that will be like, okay, I would love my kids to attend one of the best nursery and primary school. Secondary school, they can attend maybe a unity school, a federal school, or any of this. But you see, primary, nursery, I want them to have the best, because it is more like the foundational stage of their life, the basics. And there are some people that will be like, I can't deal with government schools. I want my children to all attend. These things are issues, because by the time you are in the marriage and your husband is talking of your child attending one local school around, meanwhile in your head you already have a nice school you want your child to attend, it could cause issues. Exactly. But if you have these conversations ahead of time, it helps. You at least you get to know what is on that person's mind. You get to understand, okay, this is how I can influence this. You understand?
Yeah.
And there are also some men that will tell you, okay, I'm to do everything, I'm to pay all the bills in the house, but ensure that there is always food stuff in the house. Stock the house with food stuff.
Yeah.
That will be I'm ready to pay the bills, the house rent. I'm ready to pay the electricity bills, school fee.
I think that one is even a different topic on its own. What do they call it? Domestic expectation.
Okay.
Both of you. Yeah.
You know,
because
like, this is what I'm expecting of you. Make sure that the children do well.
Yeah.
While I go out there and conquer the world. But this is what I'm expecting of you. So, seriously. You know.
Yeah, I'm sure we can all see how serious these conversations are. You know, very, very important that you have them, either before marriage or even your early days in marriage. I can see people, I can see all our, I can see you guys are following Monica Mac. You're welcome. All right. I really like to get more engagement from people listening, because we really like, if you would like to, we would like to add you up live with us. You come up, share your experience, or even ask your questions. If you don't want to join us live, you could drop your questions on the comment section and we'll take it. Remember, this is the gist. We're not here to do a seminar or anything. So Monica, join us live. Just let me know or send me a request to join us live.
Okay. If you want to join us live, also let us know. Onye foro ada.
Yes.
Also let us know if you want to join us live.
Everybody will add you. You hear? Remember, this is the gist. We're not having a seminar or something that we're just teaching you. This is something that worked for us. We notice we're personalizing all the points we are raising, because this is something that has worked for us.
Exactly.
So talk on this kid that you just talked about now. For me, there are different aspects of it. You know, in this life, there are women or there are men who don't even want to have kids.
Yeah.
There are people who don't. I've met some that actually they just don't want to have kids naturally. They could maybe adopt. This is not even because of any issues. Willingly, they don't want to have kids of their own, either men or female, probably because of their childhood or something they've been predisposed to, or probably something they struggled with and they don't want to bring up another person on this. I've met people like this, you know, instead they'll just adopt. So these are kind of conversations you guys will need to talk about in the beginning. Like, talk about it, because if not, it can cause wahala. The next one is number of kids. There are people who want to have 8 kids, 10 kids, and you have looked at yourself as a woman. You don't even want to do plenty. You know, me, I've always told myself that I want to enter the theater, the labor room just once in my life. That's always been my desire. That if I can get twins in that once, fine. If I don't get twins in that, at least I just want to go once. And it's all part of the things we talk about. So it should be part of the conversations you have with your spouse. Now, there are some men that don't even want to have kids first 5 years of marriage, first 6 years, first 10 years. First, they just want it to be you and them enjoying marriage. Enjoying marriage before you even talk about having kids. You meet some people like that. Now, the delay in having kids could be as a result of issues. Talk about it before you enter. Ask the person, in case of having delays in fertility, what do you think? You know, a lot of people will say, hey, God forbid, it will never happen. But that's the reality of life. A lot of people step into marriage and you meet one delay or the other. You meet fertility issues. Now, have you discussed it before you got married? If there's the delay like this, what do you think? How would you receive it? What would you do? You know, have an idea. If there's a delay, the man will tell you, hey, no, I want to have children. And then you enter and there's delay. You already know the response the man gave you at the beginning, or the female. Like, if the man should ask you, what if I have issues with my sperm production? How would you take it? And, you know, just those are the kind of conversations people should have. Because the reality of life is that anything can happen. You can have your plan and plan out yourself. When you get married, this will happen, this will happen, and you enter, and you meet what you did not plan to meet.
We're expecting.
Yes. So you need to have that kind of conversations and, you know, tackle it. Tackle it and prepare yourself for it when you meet it. Then, what Esther also talked about, understand these things. What is most important? There are people, when they have the conversation of how would you raise your kid. For some people, as long as these kids are okay, I'm fine. Even if you want to travel the world, as long as they're in good care, I'm fine. You know, I have a mentor that she's always traveling. Like, she's always traveling around the world because her portfolio is very strong. So she's needed all around the world. She's in Canada today, next week she's in Europe. You know, she travels, and she has 3 kids who are still in their teenage age. So when this question was posed to her, what she said is that her husband said, I've promised to give you this, you know, as long as this kids are in good care, I'm okay with it. So what did she do? She invited her mother over to the house. So her mother stays with her in her house, and then she has helps. So before she leaves for any trip, she already makes arrangements of things to be done, you know, meals, things that as long as the man is being taken care of, especially, you know, the meals he eats, how his laundry will be done, you know, all those things. The problem would have been if she's always flying and the man is neglected. But she makes sure to put all those things in place. You know, in schools, the ones that are in boarding school, their teachers, like their principal and their teachers, have her contact and have her husband in case of anything. They can call her directly anywhere. Once she's traveling, she drops her contact number for any country she'll be in with a particular teacher, so that anything that is happening with her kids, she's in the know. So this is a woman that is intentional about, okay, this is what I want to do. Then there's another man I've met too. I met him 4 years ago or so. You know, when we were having a conversation, he said something. I and my wife, we had this conversation. Like, he was with his wife, so they were telling me that before they got married, they had the conversation that he wants a woman that would be there to welcome the children from school. You know, that will be there to take care of the children. He doesn't want her to work at all till these kids enter secondary school. And the woman, being the kind of person she is, was okay with it. You know, there's no struggle in that marriage at all. That's why I always say any choice you make is valid. You know, your own is not even more important or better than that. You're a high flying woman, like I want to be. Does not make me better than a woman who has chosen to stay at home and take care of kids. You know, I think it was our last episode. I said my mother was actually working in a bank, you know, when she got married. And, you know, by the time she had me, It was her own personal decision, and she had a conversation with my dad that she wants to quit and stay at home and take care of the kids. That was her own personal decision, and she made it. And her husband, that's my dad, agreed. Immediately, our last born, my brother, turned, I think it was 3 or 5. Immediately he did that birthday, my mom got a job, and she's still working till now. So she decided to, born that year between me. We are 4 in our family. Between me and the last, which is my brother, she stayed at home. And immediately my brother was at least 3 or 4 or 5, I can't remember. She started working, and she's still working till now. That was their own decision. Do you understand? So if I don't take such decision, it doesn't make her better than me, it doesn't make me better than her. Any decision you're making, any decision you want to make sure you and your husband, or you and your partner, or you and your husband agree, or you and your wife agree. Don't just take up your own decision. And then, just as I said at the beginning of this conversation, the man has already told you, this is the kind of wife I want to marry, a woman that will be there for this kid. And then you start discovering yourself, and all of a sudden you want to fly around, and then he's telling you, no, this is not the conversation we had. And then you're being, my husband does not support my dreams and all that. I've met a woman who found herself in such situation. There was a program I attended. Someone asked her that question because she was in that situation. Do you know what she said? Even as much as she discovered herself at some point, what she did was that she gave in to what the man wanted. She sacrificed all those discoveries she discovered herself till her kids got to a certain stage. In fact, the man gave her blessing, gave her the blessing to fly. And you need to see where she is right now. You need to see what she did. She didn't do it at those early stages because she didn't discover herself before marriage. And the man had already told her, the kind of woman he wanted to marry. And because she agreed and they got married, then she started discovering herself along the line. She couldn't just, change all of a sudden because she had discovered herself. She sacrificed those few years and trained the kids. And immediately the kids were in secondary school. The man gave her his blessing. And right now she's flying. She's traveling all over. She's doing a lot. And she's still in her 40s. So it's not like she's so old right now. She she paused her dreams for a while, but she's doing it right now. So learn to, manage things somehow with your husband. Okay,
this you just said now.
Yeah.
What you just said now, it resonates with me.
Yes.
It's something I believe in. I tell people, I say, no matter what, no matter how you want to fly, no matter how you want to be as free as a bird, you need the consent of your husband.
Exactly.
You need the blessings of your husband. Some people don't understand this. There are levels that you can never reach as a woman till your husband's heart is at peace with you.
Exactly.
It comes with its own grace.
Exactly.
It comes with its own level of speed. Some women that didn't discover themselves before they got married, and years into the marriage, you discover yourself. Society will tell you, some people will be like, marriage is limiting to a woman. Marriage is this to a woman. Marriage is this to a woman. But I always tell them something. It depends on your mindset before you step into that marriage.
It's true.
Because the fact that you discovered yourself while in the marriage is not the problem. The approach matters a lot.
Exactly.
They discover themselves in the marriage and start seeing the man as the devil. Like,
I don't
want me to fly. I'm not married to you. I should be in US by now.
Seriously. Wait, Esther, please let me just adjust by this. I think the light reflection behind me is much.
Okay.
Okay, I think this is better off.
Okay.
All right.
Making some comments, they start saying some things to the man that will kind of that are very offensive.
Exactly.
But if you discover yourself, because why we are saying this is for women that did not discover themselves before getting married.
Exactly.
And in marriage, they now discover themselves. They now have things they want to pursue.
Exactly.
They now have living. They now have vision. But the man they were married to, remember, this man didn't know you will transform.
Later discover yourself.
No, he didn't bargain for it. So approach matters a
lot. Just look at how the woman I used, how she was able to manage it well.
How did you present it to the man? You can come to the man and say, sweetheart, or whatever you call him. Look at the kind of things that are coming to my mind these days. It could even be that maybe the man married you and you were not a graduate and you now desire to go.
Okay, yeah, it's true.
Present it, yes. Because some men, they married you, maybe you just did your OND. They got married to you and you now want to further. How do you present it? Some women, the way they go about it will make the man will tell you, you're not going anywhere.
Yeah, it's true.
But there is how you present that same issue to that man. He will have a consideration.
I'm telling you.
So when you find yourself in such situation, approach matters a lot. How do you communicate this new you? Because it's actually a new you, and the man will need a lot of readjustments to fit into this for instance, into this new you. You know, there is I heard a story about one prof that got married to the wife. Before he got married to the wife, he was just a normal university graduate. He got married to his wife, who was selling something in the market, but she was doing well, you know. And along the line, why I'm sharing this story is because this can happen to a man and it can also happen to a woman. Just with Esther, Vanessa and Esther is not just a ladies thing; it's for both sexes.
Yeah, that's why we're always interchanging.
Yes.
Yeah.
The man was just a university graduate, trying to hustle and make things work. His wife was selling things in the market. Now, a point when they got married, a point came, the man went for his master's degree. Before you know it, the man started preparing for his PhD. The wife was still selling something in the market. So this man grew to the extent he became a prof. You understand? Yeah. Remember, the wife is selling something in the market. She's still comfortable with her level and all that. Yeah. But this man started feeling that he needs more. He started feeling that my wife no longer gives me value. Do you get? Yeah. Like, so many things I need to discuss with her as regards my thesis, as regards my academics, research, and she's not really giving me the kind of things I want to hear because she sells things in the market and she's not that much of an academic person. This got to the extent that the man had to take a second wife. Why am I sharing this? Because as you, the wife, is discovering yourself in the marriage, the man can also discover himself in the marriage. What if you are married to a man that's okay, maybe, he's an engineer, he repairs electrical stuffs. And 5 years into the marriage, this guy that repairs electrical stuff starts telling you that he wants to be a graduate, that he wants to go back to school to obtain, even if he's a HND. Do you get? Yeah. How handle it? Because the changes don't just happen to women only. A man can also discover himself while in the marriage. Some men got married not knowing their left from their right, but just into the marriage, they discovered themselves. You as a woman, how will you handle it? How prepared are you for these changes?
Exactly.
You are a young girl and you got married to the love of your life, and 10 years into the marriage, he's telling you that he has a call. that he wants to leave business, that he's doing so well. Maybe he's an importer and answer the call of God. How will you know?
Yeah, I've seen some people that this happened. A close friend of mine, and it was difficult, but they pulled through. It was difficult, that stage of transition, but they pulled through. So these things can happen to anyone, anybody. Yeah.
Before marriage, it prepares your mind. It doesn't necessarily mean that these changes must occur.
Yeah.
For instance, I asked my husband, I said, what if tomorrow you become a pastor? I told him something. I said, okay, there was a time in my life that I was thinking I'll marry a pastor, but then after I passed through theology school, I got a clearer message that I will not marry a pastor. As in, even if my husband will be a pastor, not from the point of marriage, not before marriage.
Oh, okay.
So I discussed this with this thing I'm talking about now. I discussed with my husband. I said, see, I know there was a time I was thinking I'll marry a pastor, but then God told me that even if the person will be a man of God, not at the beginning, something happens. My husband started laughing, I started laughing, but it kind of mentally prepares you for something ahead of time.
Exactly.
Understand?
Wow.
Because things happen, changes.
Exactly. It's been an insightful time. The fact is that we still have a lot of points, and it's almost, oh God. Miss Aisha will not have a second series of this particular topic because there's still a lot to talk about.
Oh God.
Monica said, I just love Esther's marriage talks, and I always read her articles on the Prevailers group on Facebook. So I decided to follow her on Instagram. Yeah, Esther writes great articles. So I always look out for her write-ups. She knows how to say things that we can relate with.
Yeah, the group. I'm not on Prevailers group. My Facebook group is Ladies Let's Talk International. But then, yeah.
Okay. Then Monica also said, very interesting conversation. Yes, the foundation is always very important. Quite correct. It depends on mindset. Then Nena Nuzurike said, very insightful. Nena said we should please continue. It's because we are talking about time. All right, let's continue. If we're able to cover a lot, we're not able to cover a lot, then probably our May series will be a continuation of this, or will come from a different dimension. Now, yes, I want to mention some that I talked about here. Life goals. I think we'll be brief on this one because I think we've touched it a little in other conversations where your life goals, your life values, your goals, your ambitions, and your deal breakers. These are things that you should talk about. Like, what are your values? What matters to you? My values might not be the same with Esther's own. It's possible that in my own scale of preference, my values, integrity, matters more. Do you understand? It's possible that in Esther's own, excellence matters most to her. So it varies. Talk about what your values are, because it's possible that you as a female, your values might be sincerity, and your husband's own might not be sincerity, it might just be success, just being successful. And being successful, like how to get there, might not really align to your own values in life. So talk about what are your life values, what are your life principles, what matters to you most, integrity, honesty, We also have the negative values too. So just talk about the values that matters to you. Then your goals and your ambition. What do you want to be? Just as we mentioned earlier, the man might have a picture of who he wants to marry. The woman might have a picture of who she wants to marry. It's better you talk about it so that you both will know if you both fit into that expectation, so that there won't be clashes later in marriage. Because of the conversations I and my husband had before, there will be no expectations of me now to stay at home, because he has always known that I am a high-flying woman. Another person might decide to stay. Just as I shared the story, my mom stayed, and she was happy staying. Right now, she's working, she's happy, and all that. So every conversation, there should be an expectation, so you fit in. Then the other one is your ambition. What are your ambition? Do you plan to speak on world platforms? What is it? Do you just want to just be a normal lady without so much? Just make sure you communicate your ambition as a man and as a woman to your partner. Then I talked about deal breakers. This is very, very, very key. I've had conversations with a group of friends, females, and we're talking about deal breakers. Some people have the opinion that infidelity is not a deal breaker for them. If their husband cheats or if their wife cheats, that does not lead to the end of the marriage. So infidelity is not a deal breaker for this set of people. While some other people, just the mere mention of cheating, they are gone. There's a lady that mentioned. What do you say?
What's break?
My deal breaker should be domestic violence. That's my deal breaker. That's my deal, to be sincere. So in that conversation, for some other people, one lady said once the man cheats, her bags are already packed and she's waiting at the door and she's leaving. While the other lady said that infidelity is not a deal. And I've met men too who said that infidelity is not a deal breaker for them. Like that their wife cheated is not a deal breaker for them. So personally, communicate your deal breaker to your partner. Like tell him that if this so and so thing happens, probably you talk about separation or whatever. Then talk about what divorce means to you. There are some people that divorce is just a word that they can just pick on at any time. Any small thing, I'll divorce you. Is divorce something that you can easily do just like that? You understand? Or if there's a life-threatening situation, would you separate? Definitely, you should separate. If it's a life-threatening situation, definitely. I would never say anyone should stay back when there's a life-threatening situation. Please don't stay, and seek for help too in that process. So what does it mean for you? What is your deal breaker? Communicate it. I and my husband, we've talked about our deal breakers and we both know it. So you don't just assume that this person should know. You understand? So talk about it. So Esther, what's your deal breaker? You can talk about yours.
Pray you don't ask me.
What's your deal breaker?
When I was discussing this with my husband,
yeah,
I'm not a fan of them. I don't promote cheating. I don't promote infidelity.
Definitely.
As a child of God, in fact, morality, forget even being a Christian, morality, as a moral-minded person, you should have respect for your body.
Exactly.
You should have respect for your body. But sincerely, cheating is not a deal breaker for me.
Exactly.
Sometimes I feel like, I wish this can be a deal breaker. But I've asked myself severally, and I've seen that my own is domestic violence. I have zero tolerance for pain and related.
Yes. So for those listening to us, it doesn't mean that if infidelity is your deal breaker that it is wrong. It is good.
Infidelity is a deal breaker.
Yeah, it depends on you personally and your values. That's why we said find out your own and communicate. In fact, there's even a lady I met. Her own what they call it, deal breaker is if her husband embarrasses her in public. I screamed the one I heard it. She said that if her husband, not even domestic violence now, this is just embarrassment. Probably he shouted at her or, just embarrassing her in public. She's gone. She just said that.
It as a deal breaker. But
for her personally, that lady, she told me that for her, that is it. And she has told her husband. So the man, whenever he wants to chastise her or correct her or anyone, it's always in private, because to her probably she's very sensitive. So for her, she has communicated to this man that if you embarrass me in public, I might not be able to be seen in front of these people. You have embarrassed me in front of them again. So it is so important to her. So she communicated that to her spouse. So ask yourself, what is your own deal breaker, and ensure you communicate it to your spouse. Remember what deal breakers are. Deal breakers are what it is that would, go on.
You don't adopt another person's deal breaker because feel it sounds touched or it sounds valuable. You understand? These things are personal. For instance, so many things are going on social media. So many, if you visit so many Facebook groups, you hear a lot of nonsense. Things okay, some women will tell you, when the man cheats, you should cheat back, things like that. And I'm really against it.
Too wrong cannot be right.
Push your own belief system on people. And you don't just adopt a particular belief system because you see that another person is practicing it. No. You should have a mind of your own. This thing, if there is anybody on planet Earth can deceive you, but the worst of it is when you deceive yourself. And you can actually ignore, my foundation as a child, cheating is supposed to be a deal breaker for me because of my foundation as a child. My father, in fact, he is so faithful that even 14 years after my mom's death, my father did not remarry. You understand? And we never saw him. He was living a triangular life, from house to his office to his shop, from his shop to church, from church back home. You can always know where my dad is at every point in time. That was the kind of life he lived. So having that kind of background, cheating is supposed to be one big thing for me because it's something that I never saw him do. You understand? But then I just discovered that my mindset about this whole cheating thing is kind of different from the secular mindset of people.
Exactly.
Understand? And I can't say because my mindset is different, let me adopt another person's mindset. No, we all are unique. We all are different entities, highly individuated. You understand?
Exactly.
Which works for us.
Exactly.
Adopt what we feel works for another person. We will now adopt it. No, it will backfire.
Exactly. It will definitely backfire because, all right, let's see what people are saying. Okay, Nena said it's very insightful. Okay, she said we should continue. Kosi said, wow, this session is mostly revealing. Okay, welcome, C4Chi. That's Chinwe. Then Monica says, as long as there is understanding between you and your spouse, there shouldn't be any problems in marriage. Exactly, which on this understanding comes about when there is communication. That topic on communication in a relationship, that was our episode 1. We really spoke a lot on it. You could search for it on either of our YouTube channels. The video is there. Go listen to it. Understanding comes from communication. A lot of communication. Then, does anyone want to join us live right now? If you want to join us live, please just send in your request. I'll add you. Share your experience or your question, or type your question in the comment section. We will answer. Then this one I want to talk about now.
Someone, 1 or 2 people.
That we should do what?
No, I'm encouraging them. We need people to join us live. The program isn't just for us alone.
I really want someone to join us. Monica, you can join us. So Nena, you can join us live. Just share experience, talk about, even ask a question. Okay, this one I want to talk about now. In my one of my platforms, at the beginning I told us that Moments with Vanessa has, bettered a lot of platforms, and one of them is the Safe Crib. It's just an enclosed safe space where people unburden whatever emotional and mental struggle they are going through. Now, this particular question I asked them, okay, someone asked a question. Then I said, if you don't mind, can you please explain your mindset towards cheating? Okay, is it me or Esther? Okay, I think Esther has explained hers. Okay, for me, I feel that okay, you said yours is different. Who said, is it you or me? Who said that? Is it you?
I said that.
Okay.
I told her that I said earlier that my mindset when it comes to cheating is different from the secular mindset.
Okay, all right.
I think she wants explanation, she wants clarity. Okay, then now what I mean is, why I said my mindset is different from the secular mindset when it comes to cheating in marriage is, one, the world will tell you when your husband cheats, you should cheat back so you won't feel pain. So you is a way of having revenge. But I don't believe in that. You don't dine with the pig because your spouse dined with pigs. You don't reduce your standard. You don't reduce your core set of value because your spouse reduced his or hers. You don't lose respect for yourself, for your body, because you have a spouse that lost his or her respect for his or her body. You don't jeopardize your relationship with your God, the supreme being, just because you have a spouse that doesn't have a relationship with his or her God and doesn't take anything, so that doesn't make any words out of anything. Because when it comes to cheating, one is a personal decision. You can decide to cheat and you can decide not to cheat. I wrote something on Facebook for those of you following me on Facebook, Ijoma Esther Namdi. I said, no man, no woman will remove a man's organ out of his trousers and make you cheat. No. Before somebody will even get to that, you have given the person a lot of license. You have given the person a lot of go ahead order before somebody will get to that. So in every aspect, if you look at cheating, you find out that it goes 100% with consent. You must consent to it, you must agree to it before it happens. So when you marry, nobody is praying to have a cheating partner.
Exactly.
I have a husband that I so much love and respect, but I'm talking on a general terms that if you have a partner that has maybe lowered his or her guard, do you get? You shouldn't lower yours because of that person. Secondly, let's say people, Vanessa, you can do this research. Everyone under the sound of our voice, take time and do this research. People don't leave their marriages because their partner cheated. Let's tell ourselves the truth. It is a deal breaker for some people, but it is not the major reason why people leave their relationship. People leave their relationship because they are no longer respected in that marriage. How do I mean? The fact that the man made a mistake and slept with whoever, or the woman made a mistake and slept with whoever is not the issue. What bothers most people that make them leave or decide to stay is, one, communication. If someone made a mistake and come to you and say, I have erred, look at what I did wrong. I didn't plan to do this, but it happened. You are more likely to forgive than when you discover yourself. That's number one. Secondly, when someone of break the oneness of the union through infidelity, but the person still respects you as a person. Some people have this belief that once someone cheats, there is nothing good again about the person, but I tell them it's a lie. Before that point the person cheated, before it got to the point the person cheated, that person has been good to you. That person has done a whole lot of wonderful things for you. It could be your wife, that your wife has been a great mom to your kids. She has made so many commitments and sacrifices to the marriage. It could be the husband. He must have done a lot for the marriage. He must have invested his time. He must have invested his emotion. He must have gone extra mile for you and your kids at one point. So how dare you throw all those things away with a fling of the hand just because of a mistake? I see it to be unfair.
I love the way you talked about this. You actually differentiated between people who cheat unrepentantly and people who actually made a mistake and are very repentant about it.
Yes, I was getting to that because the society makes you believe once cheating happens, back your load and go is a deal breaker. But no, you need to analyze the situation. That's why I encourage women. Let us remove the clove of emotions. There are sometimes you need to put emotions aside.
Yeah.
And apply logic so that you can be able to differentiate the real thing from chaff. If you're always emotional in everything, you can never make the right decision. So sometimes you need to set emotion aside. Okay. Everybody is telling you, the whole Facebook group is telling you, so many people, a lot of speakers are telling you, he cheated, leave the marriage, do this. No, sit down and analyze. What is the bone of contention here? Is it really the cheating? What led to the cheating? Is the person repentant? What is he making to be a better person? Because the husband or wife you and I is married to is not an angel. The person is a human being. Do I look like an angel to you? I'm very much human. I am a human being. Likewise, spouse.
Exactly.
Nobody is perfect, but we all are striving towards perfection.
Exactly. Yeah, I love the way you're addressing this question.
You need to calm down. Everything is not gara. That is why some women make mistakes. There are some women that have actually left their marriage. Vanessa, I had a counseling with a lady that made me cry. I was crying and my husband was like, one of the things I don't like about this whole counseling thing is sometimes
I'm telling you, it does. There are some things I hear and it gets to me. Go on.
She left her marriage, but 10 years after leaving her marriage, she regretted leaving. 10 years after she left her marriage, she regretted leaving. And she started blaming her friends. I said, no, you need to be responsible for your decisions.
Yeah. Sure.
You don't blame anyone. Nobody forces an option on you. You assimilated it, you digested it, and you implemented it. So take responsibility. Don't blame any friend.
Exactly. It's quite unfortunate that she decided to go with their counsel. I don't know. Nena, I don't know if I don't know if you've been
our time is really fast spent. But
I understand. Then I don't know if you're okay right now with the response so far. Okay, Monica says you're amazing, Esther, and that is why I'm following you. Ego associates with ego. That's
Oh, thank you.
so
Thank
welcome, Iluaka Ifunanya. You're welcome. The Monica says quite correct. I will not allow someone's behavior to change who I am. Exactly. Then Benny Chi 2010, you're welcome. So Kosi is asking, okay, before I ask Kosi's question, Fola Shade Adek, you're welcome. Ebuka _26, you are welcome. So let me ask Kosi's question. Kosi Nelly 90, she says, how do I discover myself? Okay. Before we answer that, let me
topic.
then she says, how will a lady measure a man's readiness in terms of marriage? Okay, and Nena says she understood. Very okay. Okay, so we have two questions here now. Do we finish off the point, then we can answer the question, or do we proceed? What do you think, Esther?
How many minutes do we have? Oh my God, 6:24.
Yeah, we spent almost an hour 30 minutes now. So I think let's just take a few more points, which are very key, then we'll answer their questions.
Okay.
So this question now for me, I just, as I said, in Moments with Vanessa, there are so many other things that it has gone to, so many other platforms that it has bettered, and one of them is the Safe Crib, where people, unburden and share their emotional and mental struggles, and get all around support. So one day we are having we call it in-family session. So I asked the question, but prior to asking it there, when I was in the university, before I and my husband got married, I think we're almost about getting married. I was asked a question, like I think I was coming back from a burial or so, and we're in the company of a lot of people, and then we asked the question, would you share your past with who you're about to get married to, whatever has happened in your past? Oh my God, a lot of arguments ensued, and I asked the same question at the Safe Creek family too, and the argument was real. So today I want to ask, for some people, let the past remain in the past. For some people like me, I would say it is better you bear the past before the past comes calling at a point you never expected it. That is always my stance. Now, this is a very, very valid question. It's part of those conversations now. It's now left for you to know, should you talk about it or should you not talk about it? I have a very close friend that told me that her husband does not want them to have, even before they got married, even at this point. Okay, even at this point, the husband said, let the past remain in the past. So they never had any conversation about past, whatever has happened in the past till date, and it's working for them so far, and there are some people who would say, okay, let's have, I remember the day I and my husband, we talked about our past. It was just one day. We're just talking normally. As at then, we are still dating, we're still in a relationship, we're not married. And that was, then we already knew that it was something serious already. We already knew it was heading to marriage. So that day we just decided to talk about it. We shared everything that must have happened in the past, probably a relationship you must have been in or whatever. And we unburdened totally. So it made, for both of us now, I could confidently say that I and my husband are best friends. We are buddies. There's nothing that can come right now from the past that both of us will not laugh about. In fact, there was even one day we went for an event, someone and an ex of his just walked in and all that. It was something fun for us, to talk about and all that. There was no awkward moment. There was nothing. Simply because we are always on the same page. There is nothing strange, or there is nothing, there is no secret, let me put it that way, between us. So whatever that has transpired in our life, from childhood though, till this very point, we know. I'm not saying everything that happens daily, the key things that you should talk about. we know it. We came there before each other. Now, one question that someone asked is, what if you bear it all to someone and the person uses that against you? This is one valid point that one of my friends made. I want to drop this question so that Esther will address it when she's talking about it. There's this lady, she said something that she has seen the kind of man that she's married to. He's that kind of person that when something happens, when they're having a subsequent quarrel, he will use whatever that has happened before to talk about what is happening now. So she has seen the kind of person she's married to, and he's not the kind of person that she can tell her past. He's the kind of person that whenever something happens, he will always use it against her. Do you understand? So now, Esther, while you're talking about this particular aspect of conversation, I want you to also address this. Do you think people should bear it all before marriage? You know, irrespective of, okay, looking at it from the two perspectives, looking at it from my own perspective, see how we made I and my husband best of friends, like there's nothing. And then from this my friend's perspective now, her husband is so judgmental that he can use it against her. So I would like you to talk about it. But before that, okay, Monica says, my husband and I spoke about our past and we even laugh about it from time to time. Exactly. It happens to I and my husband. There is nothing that, you know, there was even a time we were hanging out with his friends. They will talk about this and then I'll say, hey, madam, they here. And I'll be like, okay, should I finish it for you? I'll finish it for them. You know, whatever it is that happened there. And some of them were shocked. I like, your wife know this one, Rich. There is nothing I do not know about him, and there is nothing he does not know about me. And believe me, it helped us greatly. So Esther, over to you.
Please, I will say time. Something is really popping up here, so I really need to. Okay. From what you are, truth be told, I always tell people, study your partner and know what works.
Yeah.
I and my husband, we discussed every. I'm telling you, I asked this man over 50 questions. Both questions that you will say, it's too sensitive. Jesus, how can you ask that kind of a thing? I asked him, do you understand? And he also asked me. So we bared it all. I told my husband everything about me, and he told me everything about him, even both the ones that were necessary and unnecessary.
Yeah.
It's to that level. That's actually how marriage should be.
Yes.
See, it's not just sex. Intimacy is vulnerability.
Exactly.
Vulnerability is a virtue in marriage.
Exactly.
You need to be vulnerable. You need to be transparent. You need to bear it all. But that is the ideal. It is not always what is obtainable. There are some people, that's why I say study your partner and know what works. If you know that your partner cannot handle your truths, if you know your partner cannot handle your truths, please let the past be past. You understand? Yeah. But if you know that the person can handle your truth, because when you are conversing with someone, if you are an observant lady, you will know how this person reasons. You will know the level of maturity of the person.
Yes.
You will know. Information.
Exactly.
The person. But now, if the person asks, because that's actually where all this thing is boiling down to.
Yeah.
If the person asks, use your sense. God gave everybody wisdom. Use your head. Do you understand? If you know that your partner cannot a certain level of information, men and women, use your head. let the past be past. Let it be past. Do you get?
Yes, yes,
Handle your information very
yeah,
well. Especially why you need to open up to your spouse. Why is the ideal thing to do? Like I said, some things are ideal, but they are not obtainable due to
exactly.
different personality. But why is ideal is because some people got married and years later they passed resurfaced and started causing issue in the marriage.
Of course, yes.
Yes. Somebody like me, I don't want surprises. I asked my husband, do you have any child that's or anywhere, knowingly or unknowingly? Do you have one? It's that's why I say some questions are too sensitive. But I asked because of what? The level of transparency I'm demanding from him, I'm also ready to give.
Exactly.
Yes, transparency.
Exactly.
So that way we came 100% discussed with each other, opened up to each other, so that there won't be any surprises in the marriage. But my sister will tell you the truth. If I was discussing with my husband man and I discovered he cannot handle certain things, let the past be past.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because for that lady now, that's her own situation. There are some things she couldn't discuss with her husband because of the kind of person he is, you know. Yeah. So I think basically that's the summary of it all. Know who you're in a relationship with, be it female or male.
Yeah.
And know how far you can go in talking about. Remember, from my own standpoint, or from I and Esther's standpoint, the ideal is to come out 100% open. And that is what I and Esther did. I was 100% open to her. My husband was 100% open to me. Like there is no secret between us. The same thing for Esther. Now, in the case of this lady I shared with us, that has already seen that the husband can be judgmental, you know, when there's an issue, he recalls the past and uses it against her. Now imagine if she should say something serious, maybe anything at all that she had done in the past, and he uses it against her. That would be serious. So just as Esther said, you know how to use your sense, or use your sense, and know what your husband or what your wife can handle.
Yes,
please to be open. Okay.
Yeah, it just came while you were explaining this, you know. The lady saying that her husband is always using the past against her. You know, there is this about ladies.
Yes.
That's times when they come to me for counseling, a lady might be saying, but what I'm understanding is not the A she's talking about. I'm reading the underlying meaning of what she is saying.
Okay.
The man she's terming judgmental, how sure is she that she's not repeating or throwing the same parts that she told before? Because if a man knows that you as a woman, you have a weakness, maybe there are women that flirt a lot.
Yes.
There are women that enjoy flirting. They see it as harmless. They see it as fun. And you told this man that you were flirting with a guy, and later one thing led to one thing, and you landed on his bed. You didn't know. When you opened your eyes, you were now on the bed. You didn't know what happened. And years later in the marriage, the man sees you flirting with a guy. Do you understand?
Yes.
And see something that happens years back.
In the past is happening again. Yeah, that's a valid point. Yes, that's a valid point. So it depends on whether you're repeating whatever it is that you were doing. Wow, it's been an amazing session today. In fact, we didn't even exhaust everything. So just as I said, it depends on whether we didn't finish it, because we've not talked about anger. Talking about anger. In fact, I think we should leave this for our May edition, because your level of anger should also be discussed. How far can you go when you're angry? Then for finance, what you should do with your finance, you know, you do joint. So You see, this is a part of the conversations. Then we didn't talk about domestic, and then domestic roles and expectations, and also general roles and expectations. Then we didn't talk about boundaries. Exactly. Then another one is sexual compatibility. Should be part of the conversations too before marriage. Be it if you guys decided to abstain before marriage or not, that conversation should be held, and it's something that would also we'll talk about in our May edition. Welcome, Ruby Lovett Ete. You are welcome. Then another key question that everyone should have an answer for is, why do you want to marry me, or why did you marry me? You should always know. Don't just assume that he married you because you are. Always have an answer.
Yes. It was my first point.
Yeah. Yeah, I try to leave that one as last because it's very key, Always have your reason. If you're married, why did you marry me? If it's before marriage, why do you want to marry me? And so many other points. Because we spent an hour 40 minutes on today's session. That's to show you how much you should talk about. So we are going to put the second part of conversations before marriage for our May edition. So as you all know, the Gist with Vanessa and Esther happens every second Sunday of the month. So in the second Sunday of the month of May, we shall return to talk about other conversations that should happen before you get married. In fact, even weight. If I add weight, will you be disgusted? There are so many things to talk about. Oh God. There are so many things to talk about. Like, there are some men that will be so plain and tell it to your face. If you add weight and you don't watch your weight, I will be so disgusted. And then you marry and have your child and do that, and you start exploding. And they are looking at you with one eye, telling you you're there. For the men, you could be a woman that loves a man being trim and fit. The man now gets married and leaves his tummy everywhere, and you're getting disgusted. So these things are things we're going to talk about in details on the second Sunday of the month of May. So we're carrying over this conversation. So what we'll do is that we'll have the same topic, but we'll make it part two, yes, of this topic, because we still have a lot to talk about. We spent an hour and 40 minutes, an hour 41 minutes. Oh my God.
Invite your friends to join us.
So please, guys, I would like you people to join us next, that in May edition. I want people to join us live. So if you must prepare yourself, look good, comb your hair, and do all those things so that you could join us live. We can add you live so that you could talk. Then for Kosi, okay, so for Benichi and Kosi, I noted your questions. It will be addressed in our May edition. Please bear with us. Please bear with us. Time is fast spent already, and we need to go. At least Esther has a small baby that is already making noise beside her, so she needs to go take care of her baby. And I have something to do. I have 2 meetings this evening, and it's almost time. So please, guys, Nelly, be here on the second Sunday of May. I would answer your question. How do I discover myself?
The questions.
Yeah, Benichi, don't worry. I got a screenshot of your questions. Benichi, you said, how will a lady measure a man's readiness in terms of marriage? It will be answered in our May edition. And please, guys, if you must prepare ahead and join us live. I want more people to show on our live session. I want to see more people, and I really love the level of participation this month. We are grateful, we are excited, we are happy. Thank you so much for tuning in. And we have to talk about we'll talk about our social media platforms. We really appreciate if you can follow us on all our social media platforms. It will really appreciate it. For me, this is my personal Instagram handle, Nessa_Nadi. Then for Moments with Vanessa, you find it at moments_with_Vanessa. So for YouTube, please look for me, Moments with Vanessa TV. On Facebook, you'll see me on Moments with Vanessa Tribe. It's a Facebook group with a lot of people there. A lot of things are happening there. So look for me on Facebook, Moments with Vanessa Tribe. Then we have a page, Moments with Vanessa. Then you can find me personally on Facebook, Vanessa Nadi. And that's basically it. On YouTube, I especially want you guys to subscribe to Moments with Vanessa TV on YouTube. So Esther will share her social media handle with us right now for us to follow. We really appreciate if you would follow us on our social media handles. So Esther, your social media handles.
Yes, I'm already hurrying. My baby has been crying. So please, we really love you all to follow us on our social media platform. We would love it to have you join us so that you can get updates of what we are doing to on the life of people all over the world. My personal Instagram handle, I am Esther Nnamdi. I am Esther Nnamdi is here. You know, just I think I commented. You can just click on it, join me or search me on Instagram. Then also follow my business page, our official page, Mommy and I. Mommy and then _I. Is right here. Once you search my page, you will see it. So follow me on Mommy and I Media. Then we also have our personal Instagram page, Ladies Let's Talk. Ladies Let's Talk International. Just search it. Once you add international, it will pop up. Ladies Let's Talk International. Ladies Let's Talk then _international. Yes, let me be direct. Also on Facebook, once you search Ijoma Esther Nnamdi, you see me popping up your
Yeah, so you've heard it all. Please follow us. Okay, yeah, your YouTube channel, yeah.
Mommy and I Media. Mommy and I Media. You will see, in fact, that's where you will see so many videos of so many things I've put out there to bless you and your relationship, to help guide you. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Mommy and I Media. You will get a lot of value, okay? So follow our social media handles. Is a way of encouraging us. Is a way of telling us that we are doing amazing things, because this is a lot of sacrifice, leaving a whole lot of things you are doing to add value to people. It's not something to be taken for granted. So we will appreciate to have you come on board with us. Thank you very much. I think I need to sign out.
Exactly. So thank you for staying through with us until the next second Sunday of the month of May. Until the second Sunday of the month of May. See you guys. So we are signing down. Bye.